It's payday, our favorite day of the week. It's payday, and you just got paid. Now what? What do you do with your money after you got paid? What do you do with your money? You may say that seems like a silly question, but it's not. It is very important what you do with your money. Welcome to another episode of the MD Investor, where we talk all things personal finance. It's very critical what you do with your money once you've been paid, right? It's nobody's responsibility. Your employer had paid you, they did what they're supposed to do, and now you're on your own. You got an equal exchange. You gave them time, they gave you the money. Now you're on your own, but you're not. You are the MD Investor here to help you. So, what we've been taught about after you get paid is say, yep, that's right, I heard you. Pay your bills. That's what we've been taught. Pay your bills, right? The whole list of them, right? You already know them. The rent, the car, food, all of them, right? You know all of them. Insurance, utilities, all of that. That's what we've been taught. And you pay it. Make sure it's not late. Make sure it's on time. Don't forget about a credit card. Make sure everything is paid. And then whatever is left over, maybe you have a little fun with that. And then you work, and then wait for the next payday. Rinse and repeat. But that is what regular people do. But obviously, you're not a regular person. How do I know? Because you're watching the MD Investor. You're watching personal finance content. So you're not a regular person. So what should we do after we get paid? I'm glad you asked. So most of us now have direct deposit, which basically means our employer direct deposits money directly into our checking account, usually, right? I guess it could be a saving account, but directly into our account, right? So basically what that means is our employer puts money directly, a direct deposit into our checking account. That is how most people do it. Nobody's getting a physical check now. Very few. Very few. Okay, so the money gets deposited directly into your checking account. We will get back to that in a second. The old way they taught us was to pay everybody else first, all the bills. But we know that doesn't work and that does not lead to wealth. So what we have to do is switch that around and pay ourselves first. What does that mean? Right? You know, pay yourself first is one of those things where you hear it and you hear it so often that you kind of think you know what it means. But what does it really mean? I've heard it, but what does it mean? Pay yourself first means investing into yourself for your benefit. Okay? Right? You know, like when you see your brokerage account, it says your name, IRA or Roth IRA, it says FBO, and then your name for the benefit of, right? So paying yourself first means investing for your benefit. So included under this moniker of paying yourself first is investing in your retirement account. So if you have an employer sponsored 401k or IRA at your job, you can have them take money out pre-tax. Okay? So that money has not been taxed yet. It can be taken out and go directly into your employer sponsored retirement account for you. Sometimes your company may have a match, right? They may have a 4% match or whatever up to a certain amount. Put that money in, and that money is pre-taxed into your 401k or into your traditional IRA. You want to do that. That is considered paying yourself first. So if you have money being taken out pre-tax and going into your employer-sponsored plan, that's considered part of paying yourself first. And that is excellent because that money will grow tax deferred. In the case of the Roth 401k or Roth IRA, it'll grow tax free. That is excellent. Okay. So that money you also won't see, because when your check gets direct deposited into your checking account, the money has already been taken out. So now you'll have to live on what you have. So it's a psychological game, but it works. It works. Anybody who's been doing it for any amount of time know that what you see, you will adjust your lifestyle accordingly, right? If you didn't contribute to your retirement plan and you got all that money, you most likely wouldn't invest it. You'd say, "Oh, there's more money here. More, we can get more Chipotle, more guacamole." Okay, so that is considered part of paying yourself first by contributing to your retirement. Now, the money that gets deposited into your checking account, we have to now deal with that. The money that gets deposited into your checking account is now available for you. With that money, you can also invest a portion of that, right? If you've already maxed out on the amount of retirement contribution you can do, the money that's deposited into your checking account, you can take a portion of that and maybe invest in a non-retirement taxable brokerage account, buying stocks, bonds, ETFs, and so forth, right? These are considered paying yourself first. You can also take a portion of that and putting into a savings account, right? We teach about having 3 to 6 months of living expenses, right? You can have a little more if you'd like, maybe 6 to 12, but at least 3 to 6 months for in case anything happens. Okay? Where did that money come from? That money comes from taking money out of your check, your direct deposit, and every month putting it away. So what you're gonna have to do, you're gonna have to have a couple of separate other accounts, right? So the money gets deposited into your checking account. You're gonna want to have a separate savings account, maybe another bank, maybe an online bank that have a higher rate of return, right? Don't open another account, maybe an online account, and just directly transfer it from the bank that it gets deposited into, and then put it into another bank. And this is going to be for your savings, okay? Your emergency savings fund, okay? So every paycheck, you put a little in, okay? Initially, you want to have at least $2,000 in case your car needs new tires or the transmission goes out or whatever, and then eventually keep adding to it until you get to 3 to 6 or maybe even 12 months worth of living expenses, depending on what level makes you comfortable. Okay, so now you have at least 2 different accounts. You have your checking account where your employer deposited money in. Now you have a savings account in another bank, an online bank, where you're putting your savings and your emergency fund, and you want to have another account for upcoming known expenses. It's not a shock that Christmas comes every December 25th. So maybe you have another account for upcoming expenses. So your Christmas account, right? We save money so your Christmas account, maybe you use that account to buy Christmas gifts. I'm just giving an example. Another account this is a car account. Right? We know cars don't last forever. And if you know that, we normally buy a car, and we always buy a car every 10 years. So maybe you have an account that you put, I don't know, money in. And if it's that far off 10 years, you could maybe just put that money into the brokerage account, right? Because 10 years is a long time, you'll be able to weather the market up and down, and potentially make more money. But you definitely want to have a checking account where you definitely want to have a checking account where your money is getting deposited into. You want to have a savings account, probably an online savings account, where you're putting your emergency fund. After your emergency fund has gotten to the point where you would like it, doesn't make sense to put any more money into it, then you start putting money into your non-retirement brokerage account. That's how you're going to build wealth, right? That's how all the money that you were putting into savings, now you can start pouring it into your non-retirement brokerage account, buying stocks and ETFs and index funds. Okay? And then you'll have another account for potentially upcoming purchases. Okay? So this could be for the car. And by new, I just mean new to you. We don't believe in buying new vehicles. We believe in buying vehicles that are 1 or 2 years old under warranty. We don't buy new vehicles. So then you could have another account for your fun/vacation, right? We love to travel. So it could be another account and we put money into that. Whatever it is, $200 a week or whatever. But we put money in that for your fun/travel, right? So now you have a couple of different accounts. You have your checking account where the money gets direct deposited. You have your online savings account with a higher interest rate for your emergency fund. You have your automobile or car account for your new vehicle. You have your vacation account. And again, these are flexible, right? Because if you just bought a car last year, you probably won't need one for another 10 years. So you probably won't need that car account for now. So the money that you would be putting into that, maybe you put it into the stock market so it can grow. And then you can have your account for Christmas. This is the account where we put to buy gifts for people so that your paychecks get kind of divided up among different things, okay? And let me say this. This is going to be done automatically. All right, you want this stuff to be done. The less that we have to do, the better. So payday comes in, you get paid, right? You've already done, money has already been taken out pre-tax for your retirement. Then money hits your checking account. Then it gets diverted to your online high yield savings account for your emergency. If your emergency fund is already big enough, great. Now that money gets diverted to your non-retirement brokerage account, and then you buy stocks and assets and ETFs and index fund like crazy. That's what you do. You then have some money gets taken out for the car account if you need one, for the vacation/fun account, and then this is how you begin to build wealth. And then after you've done that, all of the paying yourself, the money that's now left over, you'll do all your basics, such as paying for your necessary bills. And then after you've done all that paying yourself, you can say, great, you've done all the work, so why shouldn't you reap the benefit? Now pay now with the money that's left over in the account, then pay your bills. Your car, your insurance, your rent, your food, your gas, all of that. And then have fun with the rest of the money. But now you already know you've taken care of yourself and your family. If this has been beneficial to you in any way, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, a like, and a subscription on YouTube. And send it to a friend or a family member. And until next time, continue to command your money to grow and be investor out.